Hello, just having a few tech issues. I tried to live stream on two different things, so hopefully we're live now. It looks like we are. So I'm just going to shuffle some cards and, oh hello, we are live. We've got a few people watching. So let's pick some cards, and also we have a really special weekend coming up. We have a lunar eclipse, which is also, a strawberry moon. So we're going to have a full moon, which will be a strawberry moon, also sometimes known as a rose moon or a hot moon. And that energy it's going to be really powerful. So if there's anything that you want to clear out or anything that you want to attract or work with, it's a good time to work with the energy of the rose or the strawberry moon. So I definitely recommend Googling some more about that and find out, because that will take you down a whole nother rabbit hole. We also still have a lot of retrogrades happening. It's really interesting times that we're in, and I just notice at the moment, like week to week, how much are things changing. If we look back on a week ago and everything that's happened. Also, I was reminded just before too, we talked a lot about zoom in on my earrings. Sure, they're actually like a dyed white howlite that's dyed a turquoise color. Really hard to get turquoise this sort of color because it generally is a little bit darker, but yeah, white howlite. So last week we spoke about manifesting, and we spoke about it being an ideal time to manifest, and just the power of that. I think it was an icosahedron, like a pyramid type shape that we were working with to manifest. So I just want to know if anyone's had any success with manifesting. I know myself that my manifesting level, it more than doubled to the expectation of what I was hoping for and what I wanted to achieve. So yeah, I definitely had some of the manifestations and some of the things that we were talking about. Please let me know if you also had some luck with manifesting through the week. So yeah, we're still going through where we're really getting like clear on things. So just as like a general overview, I wrote a few point notes as well. So at the moment, astrologically, we're currently having new information come to the surface. This is a time of disclosures, a time of truth being revealed, time of freedom and justice also being issues, which we can clearly see is being played out across the planet at the moment. It's also a time to really reevaluate, different areas of our life. It's a time to also not 100% trust the head at the moment. It's about getting to the heart of the issue. So really looking at the congruency between the head and the heart. It's about shining new light on situations as well. So you might have thought, hello to everyone watching. You might have thought one way in the past, but you might have new information or disclosures come about. So yeah, it's about reevaluating our belief system as well at the moment. Hi, Sana. Tuning into our higher mind. It's also, it's continuing with manifesting last week as well. So what we'll do, we're going to pick some Divine Feminine cards from this deck to start with. We'll just start with doing a little bit of a generalized reading, because I do get a lot of feedback in that, for people that have perhaps missed out on cards, they still get a lot of information from the general reading. Hello to everyone joining. Hello, Shishil. Please tell me if I'm saying your name correctly. So let's go to where we're guided. So we're just going to flip this one straight away. So this card that we've got this one, the mother of believers, Khadija, I think is how you say her name, possibly. I am dyslexic, so please forgive me. So we've got this one, and I'll just read to you. It says, the mother of believers, I'm spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. So this is getting back to a little bit of the tail end that we were talking about with manifesting last week. So this is also manifesting really connected to the earth. So it's manifesting to do with our base and core beliefs. So it's not necessarily manifesting anything that we do not really need. And I feel that we are getting in a time of stripping away things that we no longer need, whether it's to do with how we've been talking over the last few weeks, because it still is in the energy of that, whether it's, stripping away old friendships that are no longer needed, old ways of doing things, and also getting into the mindset of doing things differently. Give yourself a challenge at the moment, and it's really about sort of like stretching the brain. It's about working with the imagination. It's also about working with the inner workings of our mind. So reflecting on different patterns and things to do with the past is also really important at the moment. It's also really important to get into art and anything creative. So let's also pick some cards out of my other deck, the Syrian card, for a little bit of our general reading. And I'm just feeling drawn to two right now. And when I'm seeing these two cards, I'm seeing the image of the sunshine. So I'm just going to just feel into that. What I'm sort of seeing is really interesting. It's like a polarity between two suns. And what I'm seeing and sensing is a magnetic energy between the two. So this is a generalized reading for everyone to start with. And then we'll try and get to some other questions. Hello, everyone. So what we've got, it feels like two pillars or two beacons of light, yet I'm also being shown it's like magnetically two, how would you say, like two different pathways. So this is really about getting clear in mind at the moment, because our mind and emotions can go either way. So it is about, is it staying in fear or is it staying in heart present? So it's really important that you hold the frequency of that which you want to manifest. So it really is being sort of like the sovereign governor of your mind and of your heart. So we'll flip these two, and what we've got with these, we've got the card of willpower and we've got the card of wisdom. So these are out of my Syrian star card decks that I have on my website. For anyone wanting information on me, you can Google my name, Solreta, which is Solreta. So let's see. So willpower, the only way, only you can make things happen. Align yourself with that which keeps you motivated and empowered. And what we've actually got with this card of willpower, is kind of like a dimensional portal. And what's funny is I just noticed on the back of the other cards, we've got this same symbol, which is actually a very yoni feminine symbol too. So it is really connecting to kind of like this, this mother, this kind of like birthing spirit, and thinking about what is it that we desire to bring to the earth? What is it that we desire to be our experience and our reality? And making sure, hi Amy, making sure that we're not absorbing things that we don't, that we no longer wish to be part of. So this is also some of the energies that are happening astrologically. So knowing that it's okay to change your mind. Say you might be walking down one path and, hi David, and you decide that, you know, all of a sudden something just feels wrong and you feel that as if to change your mind. Just knowing that that's okay at the moment to reassess. And it could be that your heart has changed around that issue. So looking into that as well. And it's really about connecting with our wisdom. So you can see in this picture, it's almost like a showering of wisdom. It is getting into the divine universal wisdom as well. So not just the wisdom that comes from our own psyche and our own experiences, tapping into the wisdom of our guides. It's tapping into the wisdom of the angelic beings that also look after us and support us. So it says, connect to the flow of divine universal wisdom as though it was a calm flowing river. And this is actually a good exercise, and this is what this card represents, is getting into a meditative state and feeling and seeing yourself in almost like a star kind of river, and laying down and literally feeling yourself absorbing like wisdom that's coming directly from source or from the universe, possibly even posing a question to the universe and having that as a way to receive your answer. So let's jump into our major cards. We're working with the Thoth deck today. Some of my American friends call it the Thoth deck. Hello Lisa, hello Joe. We will be getting to some personal questions. We're just doing a collective reading just to start with, so that so no one misses out. And let's just jump in to do with like the next couple of days, and we'll pick a card also. I'm just going to close my eyes and tune in. Okay, so we've got some really interesting feelings going forward. One thing that sort of feels like a little bit new and a little bit like a shock too. So remembering this is for a collective reading. So this is for people that are watching now and also that are catching up on the video later. One other thing that I did really feel drawn to wearing is I'm one of those people that's guided in whether it's like certain crystals that I wear or certain things that I choose to have surrounding me. And I've really felt drawn to the crystal of coral lately. So this is a coral. I'm wearing sort of a similar coral brick color too. So this is the color of protection. It's a color of sort of protecting your energy. So let's have a look at this as we go forward into the week. So the first card that we've got is for the next 2 to 3 days. And the energy that I'm seeing is going into a quietened headspace and a quietened space of the intellect and the heart merging together. And it's almost like a quiet, the word that they're giving me is interlude. So if we think of an interlude or kind of like a little pause. So over the next couple of days, it feels a little bit like a pause. I feel that this coincides with the full moon eclipse that we're about to experience over the weekend. So think about that being sort of like an interlude. I feel that it's also a time to be protective over your energy. Sometimes full moons are, when ambulances and paramedics and hospitals and that report higher incidences of psychosis and of accidents and things like that. So let's also just see what else we get with this. Yeah, lots of heart energy coming up with this. I feel like it's also about like reflecting on lessons that you've learned over the last couple of weeks, and even lessons that you've learned over this year. Some of you might still be working with some older patterns that are going back, into the past years. But I really feel that we're starting to get to a point now where we've had so many things surface this year to do with like old patterns that we're kind of like really reflecting on short moments of time at the moment. So let's flip that. This is interesting. This is the colors that I was just talking about. So again, for anyone that hasn't seen me read before, I do read the cards face down and then we flip them to gain more information. So basically, when feeling into the energy of the cards and tuning into what the guides are telling us, I'm really picking up on my sense of psychometry, my sense of feeling, my sense of sort of like intuition and clairvoyant side of things, as well as listening. So we've got the Ace of Discs. This card is very much like a heart-centered, things lining up, things coming to the surface. It has a little bit of that sort of gold yellow color that we were talking about as well. Hello for you who are just joining us. So yeah, just sort of like in a calm sort of reflection, you can see this is sort of like a womb space energy, and remembering that like moon cycles are really kind of like govern and help us with our female cycles too. So it is kind of like that going within phase over the next couple of days. So just look at ways that you can do that. So I'm just tuning into, just popping my hand over the card to read this. So you'll see me close my eyes, but this will be the card for sort of like midweek is what I'm seeing, or sort of like after the 3-day mark. So getting to, I guess, like day 4 and 5. Okay, so this is interesting. What I initially felt when I pulled the card, I saw sort of like a red energy, which is sort of like to do with survival. It's like root chakra. It's kind of like your stability, your safety. It's a little bit of a shake up in the world, and it felt like something very impactful. It felt like sort of going back, looking at things, that things won't be the same as what they once were, was kind of the impact that I was getting, was to my heart, to my consciousness. I'm feeling sort of like tears connected with this. I feel like this is on a collective level. I feel like it's something happening that impacts the world. So whether there's like a shock in the world or something that's going to create a shockwave and be felt across the world, but I feel like it's a collective sadness or grieving or something of that nature that is sort of like being taken out across the earth. Just tune into this again. So yeah, I'm also seeing like source connected. I'm really feeling like our angels, our guides, and even our higher self really connected in this space at this time, coming in as sort of like a comfort level. So please take comfort for that. If you are feeling any of those energies through the week, or you are feeling sort of like a little bit helpless or a little bit in shock, tap into your guides and to the beings around you. And thank you for all the love hearts. I'm seeing them come through, and we will get to some personal cards. We're just doing a collective reading for now. So for anyone that's missed the start of it, please go back later and watch the video. Yeah, Ashley's saying she also feels that sadness. And I know that we are going through, a collective sadness right now, but this feels a little bit like a deeper shock. So if we look back to pinnacle points in time where we have had global shock and global things happen, and those moments where we are sort of like drawn to watch the news, this is sort of like the sense or the feeling that I'm getting coming up possibly for next week. So let's flip this card. Okay, this is the energy I'm talking about. So we've got the card of Dominion. You can see that red energy that I was talking about before. This is sort of like that, it's like at a crossroads. I'm feeling a lot of sadness to do with this card, and a lot of really trying to remember what it's like to see what this experience is about being human, and why we're here, and why do we go through trauma. I'm feeling these energies aligned with this card. The other thing that I'm getting as sort of like the remedy to the card, because I do really like to focus on a solution, I like to focus on what is it that we can do to kind of like anchor ourselves in positivity, and to be able to, you know, that saying of like, you know, if life gives us lemons, you know, about making lemonade. So with this, it's to reach out in communication, but reach out in communication from the heart. Check in on your friends and family, like see how people are doing. Make that a focus. Make it a focus for when we see terrible things, to not let it segregate us or tear us apart. Make it a focus to communicate, to express your love, to express your positive vision for the world. Really like give it a change and turn things around. And this is what I'm seeing sort of for like midweek, because there is a bit of fire, there is a little bit of warring type energy to do with this Mars, and a little bit of this Aries coming up. So it's really to bring it back to communication. It's bring it back to sort of like looking at things through innocent eyes again, and realizing that even though there's horrible things that happen in the world sometimes, that if you look at it through the eyes of a child that's not aware of those things, there is peace and beauty in the world too. There's peace and beauty in nature. There's peace and beauty in laughter. Yes, helping others also. So true, Ashley. So let's look at the card that sort of finishes off around this time next week and see what we get. Okay, what I'm actually feeling and seeing is it's almost like a soothing song to the heart. So if you imagine like a beautiful grandmother that sung songs down the family line that create like healing, that create like a sense of peace, that create like a sense of wisdom. What I'm hearing is sort of like the ancient ancestral grandmothers actually singing to us and bringing comfort to us. And I feel that they're singing directly to, hi Linda, hi Destiny, you know, that are bringing us like a sense of peace. So let's tune into this card and see what else we get. I feel like it's also an opportunity to pick up lessons and to change. Oh, there's an opportunity to change the way that things were happening, and the way that things were once done. So it could even be to do with like government, and to do with new policies and things coming into place after an impact has happened, is sort of like what I'm seeing to do with this. We'll flip the card. Okay. I've actually had this card today already too. There's just so many energies kind of like flying around leading into this kind of full moon eclipse stage. Please like making sure that you're feeling that you're staying safe at the moment. If your intuition is telling you to stay at home, to get cozy, or if you're really kind of like feeling in that hermit stage and feeling that maybe perhaps you just shouldn't be going out, I would really trust that guidance and that intuition this weekend, because the energies do feel sort of like a little bit uneasy going into the week. But again, not cutting yourself off. Hi Sylvia, hi Rebecca. Not cutting yourself off from the connection with others. So reaching out to each other online, or sort of like in small gatherings that we're able to do at the moment. It really is extending your heart to others and extending your compassion and kindness is sort of the energy that I'm seeing this time next week is really, really good. So it is the card of the Fool. Please make sure that with things unfolding and happening and disclosure and different things, that you do not have the wool pulled over your eyes. Do not believe everything that you see on the news. Trust your intuition and guidance. Hi Shirley. Hi Michelle. Yeah, please really trust your internal guidance system at the moment. Do not believe everything that you see on TV or see on the news. There is a lot of other sources, whether it's like through friends, whether it's like alternative underground news. Make sure to sort of like research and make your mind up for yourself. Let your heart speak to you. Do not let the voice of others tell you how things are. Shirley's saying, yep. So that sort of finishes off a little bit of the collective reading. So let's get into some questions. So yeah, a little bit of a heavy week ahead. So please make sure to touch base, to check on each other. I see Joe saying yes as well. Hi there, Temple. I love that little owl symbol. It's so cute. Hi, Shirley. Yes, tune in. Definitely tune in. Be with those that you know are of sort of like a higher vibration and do help to hold and ground. It's really important. Thank you, Amy. Really important to have that that sovereignty, that brother, that sisterhood at the moment, that collective like being held. Okay, so let's have a look. Brenda, let's pick a card for you. Oh, cute little sunflower too. So hi, a card would be amazing. All right, straight away I'm taking to the heart with you. I'm also taken to higher voice, and I'm taking to singing and using your voice. I'm feeling this wanting to, I'm even hearing the Queen song, I Want to Break Free. It feels like something to do with like freedom, but it's like freedom has to come within, and freedom has to sort of like be based around the heart and this willing and wantingness to break free. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling to do with this. So let's have a look at your card. Okay, so the driving force that's going to get you to breaking free from the heart is really tapping into this root chakra. Cool, Shirley. Really tapping into this root chakra for you at the moment, Brenda. So like powering that up and feeling it being like a battery charging you. And when you're getting to that point of confidence to let that sort of like shine and come out of your heart, doing things that are around voice, whether it's like singing, toning, it's also going to help you to get that higher expression. So let's flip this and see what we've got. Awesome. So we've got Prince of Swords. The green represents his heart that we were talking about, and you can really see that sort of coming into full force and kind of driving this chariot. So it is about like direction, it is like about getting things lined up, but it is also about connecting to a higher source energy with the heart. So learning tools and techniques for working with that voice and working with tones and things, I would definitely get into that, because voice is your medicine at the moment. Voice is also going to help unlock you and help you to get out of anything that's holding you back or making you feel like that you're not being seen, because that's what I really feel that you're working on at the moment as well, is these sort of energies, but especially around the heart. And I'm just seeing it sort of like light up when you can release and tap in around this heart space energy. It really feels like it's going to unlock some things for you, and I just feel like comfort, and I feel the need to sort of like reassure you, or also asking for your guides to be around you as well, to bring that comfort and support. So let's pick another one. Okay, Destiny, let's pick a card for you. So would love a message from Spirit. Straight away, like as soon as I start to read that, I feel like I'm flying or connecting in with another dimension. I feel like that you actually have like a lot of loved ones that are around you. I'm feeling and hearing as though things are sort of like turning into sound waves, and feeling like I'm oscillating into a different dimension, just even like tuning into your name. So they're talking about also a different kind of like vortex energy, or some kind of spot in your house where you feel like spirit more deeply, or you feel like there's a presence in your house. So that would be interesting to see, or it could even be a place that you know, where you know that there's spirit, but they're showing me it's like an awareness of spirit or something sort of like feeling a little bit from a different place. So let's also tune into what we get from that. Okay, so what I'm getting come up as I've shuffled the cards and just picking one out is, it's kind of like learning for you how to connect to this more, is what I'm seeing come up. And I feel like Spirit is encouraging you, and I feel like loved ones around you are encouraging you to kind of like learn to like listen in. Hi John, so lovely to see you on here. So yeah, please like tune into messages around your loved ones. I feel like they're trying to communicate to you directly at the moment, so we'll just see what else we get. But I feel like there's sort of like, it feels quite busy on the other side or around you. So let's also see what else we get with this card. I really feel like it's about quietening the mind. So like looking into meditation and things like that that are going to bring you into alignment with yourself. Definitely popping up that protection before you do any of this sort of work at all is highly recommended. This is the Knight of Discs. We've got that yellowy sort of color that I could see with that. And you can see it's sort of like the knight is dressed in kind of like a black armor. He looks as if he's come from another world or for a battle, but on the other side you can see like a dimensional portal. So we've got this gold energy in a ring type pattern at the top behind him in the shield. This is sort of like this otherworldly connection. Please sort of like center yourself at the moment. And hi Nikki, nice to see you on here. Hi Alicia, hi V, hi Ren. But yeah, just be open to guidance from Spirit at the moment and taking notice of synchronicities and signs. Okay, let's pick a card for Shirley. Okay, so even just shuffling in for you, Shirley, I'm seeing like a lot to do with a few different lifetimes at the moment. I'm seeing an owl coming up, definitely as a totem animal for you at the moment. Lots of feathers around you, and I'm seeing the color blue. And it is what I would call more of like a light peacock blue, or some people might even say sort of like a light teal blue, verging on aspects of turquoise. All of those sort of spectrum of colors are really working with the throat at the moment, but I'm seeing them also working with vision and third eye. They're also giving me the image of touching these two fingers, which are the ring finger and the middle finger, which if we look in terms of magnetic polarity, it's a positive and negative charge. And I feel like you're waking yourself up to with Shaktipat. The image of the owl feather represents like a vision and being able to sort of see things like from a remote viewing distance. They're talking about like going in and remote viewing the situation, and what they're pinpointing and talking about in this is to do with the future. And what they're showing me is for you to kind of like remote view and look into future timelines, and to do it from a bird's eye view, to come back to this point in time and reset the vision for where humanity is heading. And I feel like that you're connecting with other people. They're showing me and pointing to different people on the planet. I'm also seeing your daughter in Nicaragua being connected as one of those people holding a grid point for manifesting a new future and a new paradigm to where we want to head. I'm also feeling like it'd be interesting to look up like the galactic astrology that you do to do with this as well, and to see like what's connecting with this. So let's pick a card. The other thing that I'm also feeling is electromagnetic energy interfering in terms of like with head and things. So making sure that like where your bed is, or like where you're resting, or your chair that you sit in the most, making sure that it's not near too many like electrical points, and making sure that there's other things to counteract feeling that electromagnetic energy. So just they're pointing out to do with possibilities around headaches and sort of like tiredness or fatigue, but I feel like it's more of a electromagnetic impact. Oh, awesome. You're onto it. That is great. Please let's catch up after this chat as well, because I would love to hear more on your thoughts too. So let's pick this. The image they're showing me is I'm seeing like it looks like a golden road. And when I see this, quite often I will get the song from Wizard of Oz, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Now, remembering the story of the Wizard of Oz is that, oh, there you go. So you've had the headache the last few days. Yeah, I can really feel it. It feels tight. I feel like I just need to get a chiropractic adjustment. That's the sort of feeling. I feel like that will help shift it. But if you kind of like rectify the electromagnetic situation, whether it's like with the geo cleanse or Shugnite or Orgonite, things like that, or black tourmaline, things that are going to help to kind of like disperse that electromagnetic energy, it should help. So coming back to this, follow the yellow brick road, what they're showing me is laying the bricks for the positive future, but they're also showing me remembering the main message of the Wizard of Oz was that, remember, it's like there's no place like home, but there was also the power was in them all along. So this power to create this alternative future reality. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You just got 5G installed. Okay. So it is really like your body acclimatizing to this type of energy, but if you can, fix that, that would be even better. So thank you for that confirmation. But yeah, so really it is about bringing that future alternative reality for a positive outcome into that's what we had with us all along. So I'm just going to flip this card. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is the card of the moon that I get to come up with timelines. This is you literally stepping in and creating a positive timeline. I'm also happy to come down to the beach or to tune in at any point if we kind of like get together time-wise. And I know there's lots of others that would like to do that too, if you want to do any collective like meditation type stuff. So I hope that answers the question. Oh, and I just had a card fall out of the deck, which is the Hermit. So I would tend to suggest that this is everyone also going into creating this positive future timeline. Oh, Candy, I'm sorry to hear that. You're saying that you're feeling that you've been crying non-stop for a long time with no reason. And what is that you had to get out? Oh, a long time for no reason. What is it that I had to do to get out? Let's pick a card for you. All right. All right, so what I'm getting with you, Candy, it's really interesting. I'm getting taken in through the body. They're showing me on a mental level, emotional level, and a little bit on a physical. I'm seeing a few different things going. So sometimes when we have something happening on more than one level, it can be hard to determine or to pinpoint the source of where this is coming from. So on a nutritional sort of level, I feel like there's a little bit of like lacking magnesium. Again, I'm not a doctor, so good to go get things checked, and it might even be slightly, we are very deficient in magnesium in our modern Western society because the soils are being so depleted. But I'm also sort of seeing like on a mood level and things, just like a little bit of kind of like almost like you were open at one stage and something that's sort of like of a lower vibration or a negative type spirit possibly might have decided to become like a little bit of a hitchhiker. Some people also use the words like parasite or like negative entity. It's great to look up clearing type things. I even spoke about a little bit to do with clearing and to do with like positive vibrational like redirection or changing your vibrational signature today on one of the shows I did. So you'll find that on my personal timeline if you type in my first name, Solreta. That was with a show called Beyond Mystic with Jean-Claude. But yeah, altering your vibrational frequency, clearing out anything that might have hitchhiked or attached entity-wise. This is what I want to know, what is happening spiritually too. So yeah, this is also, it prevents us from really like connecting and getting up to a higher state that we're trying to escalate to and to get to when we have something of a negative entity level sort of hanging around. The other thing that I saw too, and we're just going to pick a card to expand on this. I also feel like you're tapping in, that you're empathic, that you're tapping into the collective. And there is a lot of longing and wanting for, you know, peace and beauty to kind of like be restored on the earth at the moment. And I feel like that you're tapping into that as well, because you're really, it's like you really want the best for humanity. You want the best for yourself and for your family. And it's like a harshness of what you're seeing at the moment too. So let's pick a card for you. The other thing that I'm seeing too is with this space or this void and this emotional kind of purging that's happening, I'm seeing this little golden light, and it looks like a candlelight or like a lantern, but I feel like the frequency of that needs to turn up. So I feel like it's not only just like choosing to like do things that are raising your vibration, it's clearing out the old stuff first, and then the candle flame starts to grow. So looking into if you possibly need like a healing on a physical level, whether you need to play music that's going to be clearing, whether you're doing smudging and saging, things like that, because it is something that's sort of like hitchhiked or attached on a psychic level. So let's flip this card. This is beautiful. We've got the card of the Empress, which I feel like is more to do with like after you kind of like work with clearing this space and clearing anything that might have kind of like attached on, or working with the anything that we were talking about to do with like the nutritional side of things that could also be connected to do with like lower mood and that at the moment. Because I feel like it's like, say this is homeostasis, like where you naturally reside. I feel like there is like a flatness at the moment that's really drawing you down. And that's where I feel that is a few different things. But it's coming back to the space of a heart, which is like the green and the pink with blue, which is healing. So in order to get back into that space, first to like clean everything out that no longer needs to be there, let's pick a card for you. Let's see where I'm drawn. Joe, I'm feeling drawn towards your energy at the moment, and you have a lot of gold around you and a lot of pink. I'm seeing the possibilities of your heart connecting to other aspects of yourself that are not residing over or in this planet. And I feel like that's you almost like tapping into a spiritual window that's oh good. So Shirley's just saying she has a million lamps and organite, and Shirley also has a shop with some of these things that she retails, like cards and that as well, for anyone that's interested. So yeah, for Joe, what I'm sort of seeing is it's a window going into a, okay, I'll just explain it from this point of view. So here is my human self, and this is part of like my soul energy, we have so many different soul vibrations and energy that exist on multi-dimensional levels. This physical current body is the earth level me. So if we imagine that to be an oversoul, and this is little earth me here, this is like little Syrian me or Pleiadian me that are like residing in these other multi-dimensional spaces. What I'm seeing for you, Joe, is like a lot of gold kind of like sparkles around you at the moment. I'm feeling that your guides and your teams, thank you, Candy, you're so welcome. Just sending you a lot of love, and please feel free to message me if you want any tips on like clearing, or me to send you any links on beautiful music and things that really help with that. I'd be happy to do that. So yeah, coming back to you, Joe, so I'm seeing these golden sparkles and things around you, and they're showing me a lot of pink, and I'm getting pulled into other dimensions, investigating and exploring astral travel and things at the moment as well. But I feel like it's to bring these energies back to you. And you did also mention in your question to do with your environment at the moment. So with your environment, I feel like it's bringing in things that anchor these higher energies into your home. So looking into feng shui or feng shui, there is something to do with like water and plant energy as well. So I feel to bring more elements of water and plants into the home. So this also helps to increase the what we call like negative ions. That helps to, which is actually a positive thing for humans, even though it says negative ions. It's going to help to increase the oxygen level. It's going to help to increase the energy flow, because I feel like there is a couple of little like null spots or kind of like stagnant spots within the house. Think of your home being like a spa, to put the preset of tranquility, spa, calm, meditative reflection, and really make your home a feeling of that. And that's also going to help with that. You have a lot, but you always get more plants. That's so cute. I admire that. I appreciate that. So let's pick a card for you around that too. There's one corner in particular that I feel that is sort of like calling for this. And I feel like it's like you have the opportunity to open a bit of a vortex type energy and to kind of like keep lifting and working with that. So that's really special. So when I shuffle and pick these cards, I'm seeing a lot of blue energy. This might even be to set up sort of like a healing space or healing vortex, or a place where you can kind of feel that you can go to like, feel like you're sitting in like a healing vortex. So, some people would have like a healing table, hi Patricia, or sort of like a place where they feel that they can calm and like restore. So let's have another look into this card. Yeah, I'm really seeing like a lot of tapping into these energies coming in from higher dimensions and other aspects of you. Doing a meditation where you're also calling your soul energy back into this body, this place, this time, I feel is also really going to help you to do with feeling that you're more like in body. Oh, that's so cool. So I'm picking up on what you're picturing. So you have a whole room dedicated to that. So it really is about calling in this other dimensional energy of which you reside. And if we think about this part of us, this soul, this energy that's occupying the body, it really is so much greater than what can fit into this body container. So calling on the other teacher aspects and the other kind of like wizardry, amazing aspects of self and bringing them into body. And this is interesting. We've got this card, which you can see, it's the card of the Fool, but to do with what I'm reading for you and this situation, it really is sort of like about clearing out anything that's no longer meant to be there. But you can really see it's you in a dimensional space, going into that heart space, the green energy and the gold of source, and pulling in things to like raise this vibration and open this dimensional healing portal gateway. So I hope that helps as like a little bit of a confirmation. It sounds like that you're really on the right track with that, but really thinking about it in terms of streaming through these higher dimensional gateways and vibrations. Okay. Oh, thank you, Joe. You're welcome. Heather, let's have a look. It says that you would love a reading over here, please. And I'm not sure what flag that is. I'm sorry. But thank you for putting up your country. It's interesting to see where everyone's tuning in from. So let's have a look, kind of feel in. Okay, I feel like a little bit of like residual kind of, almost like a little bit of like reflection. There's a little bit of like reflecting on things to do with the past, possibly even like a little bit of grief come up, even if it's like moments or like images and visions to do with the past or to do with people in the past. I feel like that's coming up a little bit at the moment. So just notice that, send it love, send it healing, thank it for showing up, and just remind yourself that you're on and in a new place, and keep seeing yourself walking forward. Oh, hello from London. Let's also see, because they're showing me a path to do with the future and to do with really coming into a place of this. I feel like I want to like make you a cup of tea and sort of like help lift up the energy. Oh, you're in Scotland, beautiful. So yeah, I feel like that's funny. I just said I want to make you a cup of tea, because that's quite an English Scottish tradition as well. When you want to make someone feel better, I feel like it's just like I just want to cradle you at the moment. Just want to like lift you up and just surround you and support you, because I feel like you're there for a lot of other people, and I feel like that it's okay to sort of like reach out and to ask things of others sometimes. Thank you for the confirmation. She's just saying wow, 100%. Please, like I feel that there's so many people that you're there for, and I feel like if you didn't ask them or you didn't reach out to them, they'd feel upset that you didn't. So please like extend that same sort of love and that and them thinking about you in that way. So let's flip this card. Okay, Queen of Swords, and she's on a throne. So this is about in this situation and to do with like what you might be going through, because this represents like a form of healing. Now, whether it's a healing in terms of like role reversal and you just asking for love and support, and sometimes this can even come up. We can go through moments where for sometimes no reason at all, or whether it's affected by the planets and astrology, where we feel like a little bit flat or low, and like we just need that extra comfort and support. But really like reach out, connect with others at the moment. I'm seeing there's like the mask coming off, but it's a green color. She's bare-chested, which is also like a vulnerability. It's like, you know, take the mask off. You don't have to be strong 100% of the time. That's what I'm seeing with this card, and everyone can see that you're doing it from a heart point of view, and there's beauty in that vulnerability, and it's going to help to deepen your relationships and your connections. So I hope this helps. So just sending you a lot of love too. Rachel, hello, you're new over here. Let's pick a card for you. All right, so what I'm seeing connected to do with you at the moment is I feel like that there is a verge of new things coming in. I feel like it's like wanting or being like a little bit not having clarity, possibly to do with a path or something, or not knowing like which way to go. I feel like it's kind of like trying to make your mind up or trying to like pinpoint focus on one thing. I feel like there's new information about to come in, and I'm getting touched on the crown chakra and the head at the moment as we look into this. So let's pick this. The other thing that I'm hearing is the word learning pathways, and I'm feeling a learning, like when they're telling me to look into the body, to look at like where this learning energy is centered, and I'm seeing energy around the heart. And with this, what they're saying is that whatever it is that you're going to be learning, and it might be like this near future, or possibly like a window or a door has kind of like opened, but I feel like just going forward to the near future, there's something to do with like learning, but it has to resonate with your heart. It has to be something that your heart feels aligned to. I don't feel like it's learning to do with just an intellectual level. I feel like that it has to be, you know, exciting to the heart, and it has to sort of like make you feel that you're excited to learn, and that you're excited to kind of like lean into that. So let's also have a look. Okay, so what they're showing me is in order to get into that state where you can kind of like get that clarity, because there is quite a few things sort of like going on and a few things coming up. Oh, thank you, Heather. She's just saying, thank you so much. You sat here very emotional, all very, very much true, and what I was needing to hear. Thank you so much. Just sending you so much love. If you do want to look into a private reading with me, we focus on an hour to dive into all different areas of life. We do a combination of an aura drawing, we do a combination of cards, listening to the guides, and you really get time to look into everything and to be able to kind of like look at life in all the different areas and to dive deep. So please have a look at my website if you did want to make a booking, or send me a message. just Google my name and it will come up. So for this other question that we're answering, I really got into like getting into a space of quietness and stilling the mind, because the mind's like a little bit overactive with this question. Oh, this is perfect. We've got the card of Valor, which what I'm seeing with this situation is to get into that quietness, get into that higher connection from physical self to higher self, and into the spiritual self. And we've got this gold come up, which is sort of like that heart-based, this star, and the middle of the card represents that heart. And so with this kind of like explosion in the middle, it really is like things will line up when you come into a place of the heart and you feel that sort of connection and that quietness. So really, there is a lot of Leo energy in this. There's a lot of Mars energy. So there is something coming up to take action on, but you need to take action on it is the other thing. It's like you can think about it, you can feel into it, but please take action onto it as well. And let me just see. Oh, so Rachel, you're saying you're trying to figure out where to move. So with what we just said in relation to figuring out where to move, feel into the heart is like what they've given me. I also do feel that there is new information coming up, or some kind of like inquiry or study as well. So when you move, you might feel attracted to whether it's like a course or like a community group, or even drawn to like a certain cafe or shop. But I feel like there's new opportunities connected there. So really thinking about what sort of community you want to live in, and what kind of like heart energy and space. And I feel like it's the vibration and the combination of looking into head and heart that's going to help you with this situation. But I do feel that it is going to be more sort of like spiritually centered is the energy that I get to do with this. So let's have a look. I'm just trying to like see if I can tap onto questions and things, if my technology will cooperate, which it's not sort of seeming to at the moment. Oh, and Rachel, you're saying you're studying Reiki at the moment. Beautiful. Okay, Shannon, let's pick a card for you. All right, so what I'm being taken to, like when I tune into your energy and I tune into your name, I'm seeing like I'm seeing babies and children around, and light pink, and sort of like that, how would you say, like the lighter side of things. It feels like there's giggling, there's laughter. I'm just feeling in a space of sort of like being with kids and things, is the energy that I've got coming up for now. So it'll be interesting to see like that around you, but let's pick a card around that. It just seems to be sort of dominant around you in some way. Okay, so again, we've got something coming up. Oh, this is interesting. So what I'm tapping into to do with you and to do with this energy is actually, it's like learning something new, but it's like learning to do with the healing arts is what I'm feeling to do with this. So I feel like it's to tap in and tune into your own innate healing abilities. So whether with the children coming up, and sometimes this can also represent like fur babies, things like that, like working to do with like healing and working to do with like understanding energy, because it is a two-way thing. When we learn to like work with healing and we learn to oh, you're so welcome, Rachel, thank you. Beautiful. I really hope that you find a place that just makes your heart sing. Oh, Shannon, there we go. So Shannon's saying she's a midwife. So there's the children, the babies, the, you know, feeling of those feelings. And there's also that healing energy, because so many midwives, I swear, they're healers. And when they pop their hands on you, because I've had 3 beautiful babies myself, you feel like they are working with Reiki, or they're working with a higher power, or a higher healing. Some of them, whether they know it or not, are connected to this healing energy and are working the path of a healer. So what I'm seeing to do with this is to step forward in your presence around this healing. So whether it is like utilizing that which you've already studied, or whether it's about kind of communicating. So I'm seeing that bringing it forth in communication a little bit, whether it's like reassuring like words, or I feel like I'm seeing a tiptoe. So whether it's sort of like to not quite cross the boundary to do with some things, but whether it's to kind of like speak your wisdom or higher guidance a little bit more is what I'm kind of seeing, because there's communication involved around this. Let's flip this card. Oh, again, we've got the Queen of Swords. Yeah, this is about you revealing like the truth of who you are on a soul level. This is about you stepping into your full healer power. you can see the sword is sort of like face down. It's almost like she does not need to kind of like battle or to kind of like hold that sword up ready for a fight. It's almost like a submitting to yourself in a way, and to that beautiful vulnerability. You can see the higher self in place with this. We've got this beautiful green heart energy, star self that's connected above the physical self, and she's like sitting on clouds. She's working from a higher level. She's working from a new foundation. She's working from a new place. So I'm seeing these sort of energies come up. So just seeing like where that sits in life with you at the moment as well. So let's pick another card. Oh my God, it's gone so quick. We've only got about 10 minutes left. Okay, so Louise. Interesting. Like when I just read your name, it's like I just wanted to sing your name, like Louise, 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 Louise. And I feel like the spirit around you, sort of like singing and calling your name at the moment. I feel like spirit is like tapping you on the shoulder and wanting to get your attention. Just noticing anything of a supernatural or paranormal nature that's happening around you at the moment, because I feel like they're trying to kind of like communicate with you or almost like warn you about something. And I don't mean in a negative way, but it's kind of like give you a heads up or like draw your attention and things. Oh, Shannon, you're so welcome. Please, like, thank you so much for all you're doing, like being a midwife, and keep up the amazing work and really step into your confidence. And it is so needed at this time. And I'm sure all those beautiful mothers will feel your beautiful presence when they're birthing those babies. Okay, so let's pick a card for Louise. Okay, so the energy of what I feel when we talk about this, I'm seeing you even being open to mediumship yourself. So if what this means is that there is an opportunity for you to like gain more understanding. Oh, thank you, Raina. So yeah, what I'm seeing with you, Louise, is everything's sort of going quiet, getting into a space of subtle sensitivity. So put up your protection first. Feel into your own energy, your own frequencies. Start to feel if there's other frequencies and energies around. And I feel like there's auditory information coming at the moment. I feel like that you receive through your feeling, but they're also showing me that you have a skill to receive through listening. So Louise is saying that a bird appeared to her this morning in the house, no reason, do not know how it got in there. There you go. There's that message. Spirit is really trying to communicate to you at the moment. And I'm seeing a lot of red energy with this as well. So this is really like a foundation thing. This is really like, it's a big deal at the moment, like what it is that they're trying to show you and communicate. And I feel like they're really getting you to try and trust in the information. I would even go as far as to look up what type of bird it was and look up the spiritual meaning of it, even though I feel like it is spirit in bird body, but it might even give you a few more answers if you look up the particular type of bird. So Google, say if it's magpie, type in like magpie spiritual meaning. I'm just going to look into this card for you. We've got a lot of red with yellow coming up. There's a lot of sort of like learning how to survive and thrive is what they're showing me, the words. So whether that's new things about your home base or about like the foundation of things, I just feel like it's looking into how you can kind of like change or restructure things a little bit. I'm also feeling sort of like coming in and out of dimensions to do with this, which I feel like is spirit kind of like touching or contacting you. I feel like that it's like I'm not just feeling in the physical to do with this. So notice when you're not just feeling physical presence around you. So we've got the card of luxury, and we've got water, which is like about emotion. This is a beautiful card. They really want you to tap into your spiritual qualities, and they're really trying to communicate to you from a higher source. Seeing this beautiful energy, and in the fountains, it's not filling with water, it's filling with white light that's coming raining from that beautiful crown chakra at the top, which is pink. So I feel like this is loved ones trying to kind of like rain those messages. They're really trying to kind of like form those connections. You can see the sort of like venous system or vein system that's involved kind of with the tubing with these fountains. So really is about kind of like tuning in, clearing your pathways of connection as well, doing things that are going to help anchor or bring you into a feeling of connection. So I hope that helps. So exciting that this bird appeared for you and you have no idea how it got into the house. So I would even recommend, what I'm seeing too, is you working with cards. So tuning in, just like how I'm doing, feeling into the cards, because I feel like you pick up on empathy, and you pick up on psychometry, but listening in as well, because I feel like they're talking about like listening at the moment. So listening to your own spirit. This deck is the Thoth deck or Thoth deck. So there's a lot of like esoteric symbols in here, and this is why I read them without looking. Thank you, Louise. Yeah, so it really does sort of communicate on a spiritual and psychic level from a whole different level. Rani, let's pick a card for you. All right, what I'm sort of feeling around you at the moment is a little bit of like I'm feeling sort of like dancing in the seat, like a bit of like itching to get out. There's a feeling of like sort of like wanting to be out, or like wanting to connect. It's a like wanting to communicate or wanting to, there's like Gemini energy around you. So it's like, all right, let's like communicate, let's make things happen. Let's sort of like get into this, let's do that. I feel like there's a wanting to kind of like do things at the moment. Take advantage of this energy, and if you're not quite feeling it just yet, feel like what it is to sort of step into this and what it is to, for this to come up. We'll pick a card to clarify because we literally have just a few minutes left. Okay, it's a lot to do with the lesson around this at the moment, and where you're sort of heading is working with throat chakra. So looking at like expression, and I'm also seeing like visual things like art. I'm just really feeling like it's good for your soul at the moment to get out and make those connections, and to go sort of like outside your comfort zone a little bit too, is what I'm feeling. So just feel into the space of this card. Okay, the other thing that I'm seeing too is being conscious of friendships and communications. So what I mean by that is knowing who you can trust with your secrets and how you're feeling, like your innermost workings. I feel that that is also sort of like coming up a bit. So look at how that is being played out, whether currently or over the next couple of weeks, and trusting your judgment, trusting your heart, feeling that you're able to freely speak your voice too. So let's flip this card. Okay, so this relates to what I just said. We've got the card of debauch, but this I see come up sometimes when someone's not clearly communicating or expressing, or if there's others around that are possibly jealous, or are possibly not holding us in our highest regard, or even sometimes using us on some level or another. So this is to bring your attention and awareness to this at the moment. I hope that that helps. Yeah, please reach out to me if you did need to dive into a bigger reading. So I do what's called aura drawings, because I see the aura, so I see the colors around people. We do it over a video Skype session. So here is a few examples of just some that I've done over this week. You can see beautiful rose petals falling on this person. And there's a beautiful goddess, there's Radha, one of the beautiful Indian Vedic goddesses in this picture. We've got some other spirit guides that are working with the picture. So in aura drawing, we also do the tarot cards. We also speak to the guides and look into all of the questions that you have. Here is another one. There's some angelic energies in here. There's a puma black jaguar type cat as a totem animal, and we also have this one, which was really, really interesting. With this one, I was reading for someone and I heard this name almost like being shouted at me, and it was the name Freya. And with this client in particular, when I said that I'm hearing this name really, really loud, she goes, "That's my daughter's name." And her daughter, who was only a baby, was actually kind of psychically trying to almost like hijack the reading. She was like really excited and really like a clear communicator on a psychic level herself, even though she was just a baby. So we have some really like interesting stuff come up sometimes in the aura drawings with the readings and things. I just want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. For anyone that would like more information or for a personal reading, you can find more. Thank you, Rani. That's so beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, anyone who would like a personal reading, my name is Solreta Antaria. I have information on YouTube. I constantly am on interviews for other people. So if you Google my name, it's Solreta. Yeah. Oh, and Letitia's saying that's also her daughter's name. Beautiful. Well, yeah, sending you lots of love. Please send me a message if you have any questions, or if you could not find a booking space, because I am booking up really quick at the moment. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you. Sending you lots of love through the week. Please look after yourselves.